So I just watched Marcel the Shell with shoes on, and it was an adorable, fantastic movie that everybody should watch immediately. Granted, I think I did miss the first, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm not exactly sure. Not that much, but it showed up, watched a movie. I had to travel. We traveled, Zero Two and I, to, well, I'm not going to say where, but about an hour and a half, an hour and 10 minutes away, something like that, just to see this movie because it wasn't playing in our town. It's worth the trip though. Um, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, an adorable movie for all ages, and just an absolute legendary movie. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's not very confusing. It's not a confusing movie at all. The movie's about Marcel. He's a shell. Now, there used to be lots of shells, and they all lived in this house, and the house belonged to a couple. The couple separated in a fight where the boyfriend packed up all his stuff in anger, and like many of the shells went, and it was just, and at the house, all that was left was Marcel and Nana, I think was her name, the like old grandma type shell character. Really adorable movie. I was, if I'm being honest, I was crying like the entire time. I Towards the end, I was able to pull myself together. Like, no, we're not gonna cry during the end. We're just gonna watch this movie. It's a normal movie. Don't cry. But I was crying like the whole time. It was just a adorable, cute movie. You can enjoy it as a child. You can enjoy it as an adult. It's really a movie for everybody. It's makes you cry the whole time, at least me, because you know what's gonna happen. You know how this movie is gonna play out. But just because it's predictable doesn't make it bad. It's predictable in like the best possible ways. The cinematography is really good because it's actually filmed, and it's either like claymation or animation, but the real life stuff goes really well with the animation claymation stuff. Um, there's I don't know how to explain it. There's filmography and cinematography and this animation on the B-roll. And it doesn't, well, it doesn't even seem like it's on the B-roll. It's so seamless that it seems so conjunct. I just thought it was a great movie for every reason. It looked good. It was pretty to look at, very well shot. You guys know I'm a big fan of cinematography. It was very good to look at. Typical A24 movie. A24. Shout out to Zero for getting me the fucking sick shirt. But so it looked good. It was really pretty, but it was also very, I don't want to say predictable, right? I used that word earlier. Not very predictable, but very easy to follow. Very easy to follow. You know where it's going essentially, and even though you know where it's going, you still find yourself feeling excited and sad and mad maybe for certain characters during certain points, despite how it being obvious, like, yeah, of course that character is going to react that way when this happens. Of course, why? Of course. But it still hits you just right. And I think, if I'm being quite honest, I think this is the best A24 movie. This is my favorite A24 movie, anyway. At least for now. I mean, I'm still going through watching all the A24 movies. The Lighthouse is up there. Everything, Everywhere, all at Once is up there. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, as simple as it is, as silly as it is, I think it did everything right. The plot was great. It ended in a very satisfying way. If I had to dig deep and find something to complain about, let's see. It felt like the movie was like, I think the movie's an hour and a half long, right? It felt like it was an hour and 45 minutes long, but it maybe could have felt like an hour and 35 minutes. It could have and should have felt that way. Like, there's a part where you think the movie ends, then the movie, it goes on for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 more minutes. It's really not that bad of a nitpick. It kind of just tricks you a little bit, the viewer. It's not enough for me to like even really call it a complaint. That's just me finding something to complain about if I really, really had to, right? I really think this movie's perfect. And given my current, if I'm still using my current rating system, because I may switch to like an actual review site and start using that rating system. But for now, using my rating system, I'm giving this movie a 10 out of 10. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is the best movie I've seen all year. Now, given time, let's say at the end of the year I make a video about my favorite movies, like top 10 or top 5 favorite movies of the year or whatever. Maybe then something else might peak at number 1, you know? Maybe The Black Phone or Everything Everywhere All at Once edges that number 1 spot in the end. But as of right now, if no more movies come out and this is all we get, boom, this is it. Marcel the Shell with the Shoes On is my winner for movie of the year. It's just excellent. I was crying the entire time pretty much until the end where I pulled myself together, although that was probably one of the more emotional parts. It's just great. It's great. I think you should watch it. Best A24 movie. If you want to see more of this live, follow me at twitch.tv/oozepop.